Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get our fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed. You move to NFR.
Engines roar, the crowd goes wild. SAFRL under the lights. Tuesday night a battle begins. Speeding hearts chasing winds. Pit stops are lightning fast. Every second a driver must grasp. Bumps and spins on curves so tight. Fighting for glory beneath the twilight. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. The checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Drama unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on this stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. Checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Drama unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on this stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, 'cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. NFR, it's time to go. Feel the speed, let it flow. Racing hearts, watch them glow. Turn it up, start the show. NFR, feel the heat. Fast and fierce, never beats. Engines roar, can't stay off seats. Catch the thrill, it's so sweet. NFR, NFR. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. is lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SAFRL in its new time slot, of course, on a Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Of course, now Season 10, Round 3. It's a special round, one of two in the calendar. We have a mystery circuit. That means we're going to need to spin this wheel, and the drivers will find out 5 minutes prior to the start of qualifying where we will be racing. So let's see if we can get to that wheel. This is all very complicated for me. So let's just give the tracks a shuffle first. There we go. And let's give the wheel a spin. A lot of people were wishing for Monaco in the comment section. It's not going to be Monaco. It's going to be somewhere very different. So there's your confirmation of where we will be racing. We'll be racing in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And the drivers can now start preparing for that circuit. Of course, it's a lot more difficult when drivers don't get an opportunity to prepare for a certain circuit. Maybe just tune up the setup ever so slightly, get used to the conditions on the different tires, whatever the case may be. On a night like tonight, you don't get that opportunity, so if you're feeling a little rusty, it's gonna show. Of course, we will be back at 8 p.m. I don't think you want to hear me ramble until 8 p.m., so I'll give you a break for the next 3 or 4 minutes, but we'll be back at 8 p.m. Of course, Season 10, Round 3, now confirmed, Jeddah. See you all in a couple of minutes.
Quick, go race of fate. Champions born at heaven's gates. Trackside hearts beat wild and free. Victory for all to see. Rivalries burn tire lights. Red and green in the night. Final lap on the moon's gaze. Ending in a roaring blaze. Crown rolls like crashing tide. In SAFRL we take pride. From start to end hero fights. Everlasting speed delight. In the league of SAFRL we rise, fuel and fire in our eyes. From the lows to the highest highs, it's the thrill that never dies. In the league of SAFRL we rise, fuel and fire in our eyes. From the lows to the highest highs, it's the thrill that never dies. In the league of SAFRL we rise, fuel and fire in our eyes. From the lows to the highest highs, it's the thrill that never dies. The thrill that never dies. Can't stop, quick, a race of fate. Champions born at heaven's gate. Trackside hearts beat wild and free. A victory for all to see. Rivalries burn tire might. Red and green in the night. Final lap on the moon's gaze. Ending in a roaring blaze. Crowd roars like crashing tide. In SAFRL
Feel the speed, the thrill, high octane drama can't get our fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checker flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed, the speed. You move to NFR.
Engines roar, the crowd goes wild. SAFRL under the lights. Tuesday night a battle begins. Speeding hearts chasing winds.
Good evening, everybody. Again, was I spoke to you 5 minutes ago. That was for the spin of the wheel. Nobody knew where we would be racing prior to that. Surprisingly, a lot of the guys in the comment section were asking for Monaco in particular. That was one of the 8 possibilities. We did not get Monaco. We got something quite different. Of course, we're in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia. Of course, the Grand Prix that was first held in 2021, I believe it was. Full race distance around here is 50 laps. We have a 50% race, so it's going to be 25 laps around here. And of course, the second longest circuit on the calendar after Belgium at 6.1 kilometers. Start to see some cars coming out of the pits already. There's Skull, one of the first. There were a few cars that even got out ahead of him. Everybody looking to get out early, set that benchmark. Like I said, it is a long lap. If you happen to get some damage on your timed run, it can take an awful long time to get around here. Gonna get this first run done. Make sure you get a time next to your name. You really can't be messing about, especially in this field. Very quick drivers in the field here tonight, as always. Of course, we've got Big T in the Aston Martin. That's a new appearance, I believe. And we've got Virus, Logic, another quick driver, Top Gun, Not Shumi, Sugar Bear, Pantry Star, Naked Champ, Skull just missed out on a podium on Sunday. Finished P4. Of course, speaking about quick drivers, mentioned a whole bunch of them. I didn't mention the one at the bottom of the timesheets there. Don't let the timesheets fool you. There's no lap times, but Wheeze, I assure you, will not be at the bottom of the timesheets by the end of this session. Hopefully, I haven't just cursed him. Welcome to everyone in the comment section. Welcome to everyone who's watching. I think we've got Skull, Spikes, we've got Tian, Death Queen, we've got Ubuntu. Who else is here? We've got Logic, we've got Cooper. Also got, who's that? Blade, Brian. Welcome to everyone. Hope you enjoy the race. Hope you enjoy the qualifying. We're just getting started. Of course, just the one qualifying session, so you don't have time to mess about. Everybody gets 18 minutes to go out there and do their best, set as many times as they can, as quick as they can. Of course, some of that time has gone already. 18 minutes for everyone to get around, not anymore. Down to 14 minutes. This qualifying session does go by quickly if you want to manage your time. It's Top Gun, one of the two Red Bulls. Are there another Red Bull? Is that Mink 786? Mink in, I suppose it's B13, but it's just a timesheet. There's no times attached to it yet. There it goes. It is Mink, 130.3. That's the first lap time of the evening. Skull goes P2 with a 130.5, pretty close between those two. But this leaderboard will become populated shortly. Everything looking quiet for now. Look, these lap times pretty close for now. Sugar Bear goes over the line, a 130.7. You guys haven't seen anything yet. We're still waiting for the likes of Weeds, waiting for the likes of Logic and Big T. 129.6, best we've seen so far. Andre goes into provisional pole. 4 drivers now on that timesheet. Who's up next? This is that Virus starting a lap? I think it was Virus starting a lap. Well, turn 1 had to abandon the lap. Speaking of Wheeze, just gone fastest. It's a 128.3. Big D in P2 with a 128.4, so he's keeping Wheeze honest. Maybe tonight it won't be an easy stroll. I said stroll. I just referred to Wheeze as stroll. Speaking of stroll, there's an Aston Martin. Big T. It's a name I haven't commentated on for quite some time. Good to see him making a return to the circuit, making a return to SAFRL. I believe he may be racing in SKR as well. So that will be a fantastic addition to both grids. We've seen the sort of gaps Wheeze has been able to pull on the rest of the field. And judging by those first lap times, things are looking pretty close. Of course, we keep speaking of Wies, but Wies is not the championship leader. In fact, the championship leader is SAFRL. Have a look at that drivers' championship right there. SAFRL leads the championship, 43 points. Wies in P2 on 39. Then you got Shumi and Pantristar also very close, 25-23 in third and fourth. Of course, very early days in the championship. Also got Joe in the comment section. Welcome to Joe, welcome to the stream. Good to have all of you here. Yes, I'd say he's a little better than Stroll. Things could get a little spicy at Aston Martin in 2025 because there's already rumours that Adrian Newey is basically saying, listen, we'll give Lance a shot in 2025, but if it doesn't work out, he really needs to go. Could be interesting to see what happens at the end of next year. Of course, Aston Martin will be entering their Honda era. Be interesting to see if they're going with an all-new driver lineup, or if they plan taking Lance into that new era. I've got bad news for you all. I think we're stuck with him. I think he's probably just going to take over that team from his dad and then continue driving as a driver owner. And yes, at a stage, those did exist. Wies, Logic, Big T, you're not going to get much closer than that. Big T was on that front row and he was pretty close behind, and somehow Logic has just been able to snake his way in there. It's very, very close for the top three. The rest of the field knows what they have to deal with. Just 4 drivers within the 28s. It's SAFRL on a 29-0. That's what happens when the times get so close. Sometimes you'll see a driver that looks out of position. It's just the slightest mistake, 2-3 tenths in a field this close, make a big difference to your position. 2 Ferraris on the other side of the top 10, 11 and 12. That's Andres and Shumi. Of course, both of those drivers very, very quick on their day. It's all about the day. Got a few cars on outlaps, a few cars in the pits, not too much action out on track. A few cars on their way back. This is Mink. Of course, went over the line first and therefore set provisional pole. Was able to hold on to that for quite some time, then got past multiple times. He's now in P9. I believe he did get a purple sector 1, so you might want to keep your eyes on this lap. It's not a driver I'm familiar with, unless it's a driver who secretly changed his name. So I don't have a lot of evidence on this driver. I don't know if he's quick, I don't know if he's slow. But judging by that sector 1, I think he's mighty quick. Tap of the wall. And the car immediately goes. That means he's lifted. He's backed out of it. I'm not quite sure what was coming there, but we all saw the track light up in purple in sector 1. Something special. Wies 128.3, followed by Logic 28.4, then Big T another 28.4. We've actually got 1:10 between the top three. But Reeves is looking to change that. Of course, he's had a bit of a easy ride so far, only been really challenged here and there by a few drivers. So he's come out with the good result at the end. This time I think he's going to have to push a little more. Going to be feeling the pressure. And that is his response to me saying he's going to be feeling the pressure. Goes over the line and settles 127.7. He's going to remain in provisional pole, and he's just moved that goalpost by a whole bunch. Just behind him. How do I even pronounce that? Somebody tell me in the comment section. But it is the second RB, so we've got an RB12 here in Saudi. Something special happening on those RBs. Maybe they're just incredibly quick down the straights. It's Ferrari P3. It's into provisional pole. He brought a smile to his face. Was then wiped off his face pretty quickly. One RB went past, then the other. And just like that, Big T was literally half a tenth behind Weeze in second place. He is now suddenly 8/10 of a second adrift in P6. That's how quickly things change in qualifying. Of course, remember, it's a mystery circuit. The guys wouldn't have been practicing this prior to the race. A lot of guys practice a few days prior to the race. And there's been no preparation. That first quali lap, guys might have been a little tentative, a little watchful, making sure they want to get the lap time, not make a mistake. Second time round, might have a little bit more confidence, get a feel for the track again. I think we're just going to see these lap times coming down, and I don't think it's necessarily that the track is getting better. I think it's that the drivers are just pushing harder. I think invalidated laps around here are impossible, but we have seen them. Ubuntu asking if this is the track where Verstappen hit the wall in quali. Not sure if you're referring to the incident in Baku. I think that might be the incident you're referring to. Max Verstappen was clear favourite to basically take pole position in that session, and went on to crash his car. Good question. Of course, we did see a very big collision here in 2021 between Max and Lewis. Track that's been on the calendar for a very short time, and it's going to be replaced shortly. There is a new Saudi Arabian circuit in the works, and if everything goes according to plan, we'll have that on the calendar in 2028. Let's go up to Weeze. Where is Weeze? He's on an outlap. It's Ferrari's on an outlap. The second RB is in the pits, as is Logic and Big T. I think all of those drivers actually leaving the pits now. Is the track about to get very, very busy? I hope everybody's made enough space for themselves. They've taken note of that track map before they left the pits. Of course, it's to everybody's responsibility to make sure you've got space. Sure, if a car's on a cool down lap, It's that car's responsibility to get out of the way. But if that car in front of you is on his quali lap, there is no need for him to get out of your way. So you need to make sure you have enough space to that car ahead. Make sure you have enough space to the car behind, that he doesn't run into you. Luckily for all the drivers, 6.1 kilometer circuit, so lots of place to spread out. We're still the quickest, 27.7, the only driver in the 27s. It's actually just started his final run. Not sure if I read that sector 1 correctly. If I did, it was a very impressive time. I think I did read it correctly. We's up in sector 1, looking to extend that gap even further. He went out on that first run. He's been dominating qualifying so far this season. Went out on the first run, put in an impressive time. Some guys got awfully close and threw up a challenge. Went out on a second run, said try again. He's now gone out for the third run, and he's going to rub the salt into the wounds. How much more does Weeze have in his pocket? I know there's a bit of a delay, but let me know in the comment section, what do you think pole position will be? Course 27 Watt. Weeze goes over the line. He does find an improvement. It's not a big improvement, but still had something in the pocket somehow. 27.6. It's Ferrari would have been really happy with that 28.0, but not quite in the 27s. He now splits the two RBs. Logic 28.4. I think he's still on the lap time. He's currently in sector 2. He's draining through his URS pretty quickly, so he is on the move. See what Logic can come up with. Currently it's not a bad lap time, 28.4. Quite a difference to the pole sitter, but it's still good enough for the second row. Of course he'd love to put himself up onto that front row. In order to do that, he's going to have to find himself just over 2/10. Confirmation there that that incident was indeed in Saudi Arabia. Thanks guys. So it was the 2021 Saudi Arabia event where Max had that incident. No idea why I was thinking of Baku. I think I've just seen Max crash at street circuits too many times at one stage in his career. Didn't have a lot of luck at places like Singapore and Baku. So that was the first ever Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If I remember correctly, Lewis Hamilton won that race. That's what led up to the all-famous season finale where the two drivers entered Abu Dhabi on equal points. And we all know how that ended. So, yes, that is the end of qualifying. Everybody's crossed the checkered flag. Everybody else is in the pits. So I think it's safe to say those are your results there on the left-hand side of your screen. We'll just wait for the official results. We have been thrown surprises in the past, penalties that we've missed. Just the other day we saw Weeze get a fantastic pole position, and when we arrived on that official screen, he was down in P6. So let's just... Oh, there we go. I will be back with you in just a minute. I just need to correct something with the audio. Well, welcome back everybody. I I am somewhat confused. We are in Saudi Arabia, yes? It is raining in Saudi Arabia, in the desert. So, well, I did not see this coming. Who saw this coming? Let me know in the comment section. I actually think somebody said rain after we spun the wheel, and somebody actually sent a laughing emoji, I think. So, who would have expected this? It's raining in Jeddah, unless this is some sort of sick joke by whoever the host is. This is a weather phenomenon. When I will be back, I just want to correct something with the audio. Sorry about that. We just had to correct that, otherwise you would have started hearing some of the drivers through the stream, and you don't want that because you never quite know what they're gonna say. We don't have the bleeping technology of the FIA. Welcome to Productive Panda, as well as Christian, as well as Zander. Great to have everyone here. You've joined us just in time. You missed Polly, but you're here for the important bit. And I just feel nobody's speaking about the rain in Jeddah. I even thought maybe it's a glitch on my screen. Maybe I had to actually go and check if these guys are on intermediates. They are on intermediates. So, an intermediate race in Jeddah. How long will it last? I don't know. Maybe the track will dry up in 4 or 5 laps from now, or maybe this will continue for the entirety of the race. It's not the best camera angle for the start of the race, but that's F124 for you. Get the 5 red lights, they go out and we're underway. It's Red Bull in front and it's Logic P2. Second RB makes up a position early on. Big T makes up a position. Who's losing positions? We must have had a driver falling down. I think that is not Shumi. He's lost 2 positions. Sugar Bear has a fantastic start. Up 3 places in a matter of corners. I was gonna say, let's bring up your tyre screen, but I don't think there's any need. Everyone on the intermediate tyre. Of course, the drivers are going to have a little bit more information than I'm going to have. They're going to have a little graph that they can look at just before the race, and they'll know, give or take, if this race will be ending this way or if it will be ending in the dry or if the conditions get even worse. But I don't think this is a result anyone could have predicted. First of all, the circuit was a mystery venue. And then it started raining in the desert. At the front, it's Wheeze versus Logic. And as soon as I can say that name, I will. The second RB driver. Then it's Big T. It's Faree and P5. Sugar Bear. Keep your eyes on the raindrops. As soon as they start to get lighter, this race enters a different phase. Of course, this could continue right to the end. These goes over the line for the first lap, leading the way from where he started, so he was able to hold on to that position in turn 1. So many times you're able to take pole position, you don't get the start you would have wanted. Feels like all those extra laps, all those extra tyres you used in qualifying all go to waste. Your opponent gets past you into turn 1, was able to defend that position. Now something he's going to have to his advantage in the drive. If you're 2 or 3 tenths faster than your opponent, but not more than that, he's going to be able to stay within your DRS. He's going to be able to tow you in every lap until eventually he drains you of all battery and makes the overtake. That is inevitable at a circuit like this with extremely long straights. It's going to happen. In the rain, you do not have the ability to use DRS. So if the driver ahead is nearly 2 tenths faster, he is going to effectively pull away up the road by those 2 tenths. The driver behind isn't going to have the use of DRS to just give him a boost. Let him pull that leader back in. 17 drivers in the field. I think that was the same number we had on Sunday. The driver in P3. Already see the gaps starting to form. Gaps do look a lot bigger than they actually are, but that's because of the nature of the straights on this circuit. As soon as you get to the corners, the cars appear a lot closer. The gaps don't actually change. This is its Faree. This is your SAFRL Season 10 Championship leader down in P5. He'd rather be higher up in the field. His main competitor, his main rival in this championship at this stage at least is Wheeze. And Wheeze is up in the lead. The race where it's finished like this, of course the championship would flip. Still early days. Picked up a penalty. I said it in qualifying. Seems like corner cutting on this circuit is impossible, but it does happen. So already a very early penalty. Virus 3-second penalty down in P16. That's not going to help him have a great day. Then he says he was doing the rain dance. That may explain things. Really even bother taking the wet tyres when they go to Saudi? I'm sure they do, but it's such a waste. This is Wheeze out front, 7 tenths. So Logic's done a good job. He's been able to stay with the leader. Now Big T applying the pressure. He goes fastest lap, and that's not even from second place, that's from third place. So Big T's now going to start applying the pressure on Logic. Logic's actually getting closer to Wheeze. And is it just me? It's just me. It's still a lot of raindrops falling. You let me know in the comment section the moment you see the raindrops lightening up. Or with this game, they could very well just disappear very suddenly in the space of half a lap. Never really know what you're going to get with this game. We've had situations on this channel where the track dries up almost immediately. We've had other races on this channel where 3 or 4 laps the guys just don't know what tyre to be on. Is this going to be one of those races? When will that pit stop come? Of course everybody has to do... Oh, it's just a about to say everybody has to do the one mandatory stop, but in fact, if you can make a set of intermediates last till the end of the race, well, you can do that. Of course, if rain is involved in the race, then the mandatory rule for a pit stop falls away. Like saying if the rain intensifies, the ends are still quicker than the wets. Of course, the lap times do come down. If the rain intensifies and you jump on the wet tire, that lap time will still come down. The less rain, the better rubber, the better the lap time. So that's how I understand that works. Of course, wet tire is really just to get rid of all that extra water. With Logic at such a crucial time there, we saw him going around the right-hander and the back of the car just stepped out, had to correct the steering wheel. Heart would have been in his mouth for just a moment. Did a fantastic job of holding on to things and still keeping Big T behind him. Of course, the Aston Martin now very much on the prowl. You can see he's very close to the rear wing of the Mercedes. To get on with it, because you can see Rees disappearing off into the distance. Doesn't want that to happen, but he's not going to be able to do anything if he's trapped behind a Mercedes-Benz. Very nicely done. Big T takes the position up into P2. Logic, well, he has to yield. Not much he could do. Can't be as brave, you can't be as aggressive as you would be in the dry. Oh, okay, thanks for the clarification. I didn't understand your comment initially, but Blake was saying that the rain is actually broken in the game, and you choose to use the intermediates in a very, very wet circuit, you're still going to be a little quicker than on the full wets, which is not supposed to happen. If that were the case, then the full wets would be, well, useless. So the second RB, so the Alpine championship leader, it's Ferrari, going in the direction he'd want. Second Mercedes, his teammate just up the road in P3 doing a fantastic job. This is Pantry Star, also well inside the top 10. Pantry Star in P6, then the second Aston Martin, and look at that, we joined just in time to see an overtake. We were going to say Aston Martin in P7, but for not much longer. Skull takes that P7, very nice overtake. Is the Aston Martin going to come back? Not for now, we've got a caution. Hopefully that's all it is. This is Sugar Bear in P9 and Salvers. And then obviously Top Gun making up the top 10. Go back to the leaders to see what's going on there. It doesn't look like there's been too much of a change. Weeze still leads the way. That gap 1.3 seconds. But he's not setting the fastest laps. The fastest laps are going to the man in P2. A lap ago he was in P3. He since has made an overtake. He's now in P2 and he's still setting the fastest laps. So starting to apply pressure to the leader. Or will the leader respond with something special, reopen that gap? Logic, he got overtaken, but he hasn't really been able to mount an attack to take that P2 back. And somebody in the comment section, please tell me, how am I supposed to pronounce this driver's name? Otherwise I will simply call him the second RB driver. Getting a bit of a slide of his own while live on the broadcast. That was a great view. Very difficult conditions for all of the drivers. I wonder how many drivers have practiced Jeddah in the rain. Anyone in the comment section that spends some time on this game, have any of you spent time practicing in the rain at any of the desert circuits? Squeeze out front, 1.4 seconds, so the gap just hovering 1.4, 1.6 thereabouts. It's not really getting away from Big T, but Big T just not able to get close enough. 139. Either he's going quicker and quicker, or the track is getting better and better. You tell me what you guys think. Is the track getting better and better? Is the rain lightening up? Load to Joe Kutsia. Never what? Can't just comment never. I speak a lot. I have no idea what you're referring to. If it's something I said 2 minutes ago, I have no idea what you're referring to. He's out front, 1.4 seconds, then Big T, followed by Logic, another 1.3 seconds down the road. This is what you see in the rain. Very early on in a race, you start to see these large gaps. You start to see no real signs of DRS trains anywhere in the field. And that's just because when I say DRS trains, I know there is no DRS in the rain. What I mean is gaps within a second. Fights for position. We see a lot of gaps well over a second here. Cars just spreading out in the rain. Of course, if we have a change of weather, people are going to dive into the pits. Some people are going to think they need to go in a lap later. Some people are going to think they need to go in a lap earlier. It could mix up the field entirely if you get it right or get it wrong. But of course, we haven't had any news from any of the drivers as to what this weather could potentially do. It makes it a little bit more exciting that we don't know what's going to happen. Will it get better? Will it get worse? Will it stay just like this? Of course, a circuit that has all the right characteristics for a very heavy safety car circuit. I haven't seen one so far. Everyone's been pretty well behaved. Just the one retirement from Notsumi, and unfortunately we didn't get that on the broadcast. So if Notsumi is on the stream, jump in the comment section, let us know what happened there. Of course, qualified pretty well, but we saw him losing positions at the race start. I think he would have guessed he was going to be starting this race in the rain. Weeze leads the way, and now look at the gap. Now the gap is starting to grow. We said the gap was just stabilized. It's not stabilized anymore. It's now 2.5 seconds. So Weeze opening up the throttle, responding in lap times. He now sets the fastest lap of the race. Is Big T able to respond? No, he's not. Weeze now makes sure he's the fastest man out on track. 2.8 seconds. It's jumped up another 3/10. And with the pressure, Big T's gone on to pick up a penalty of his own. Of course, if we're just neck and neck, if it's a fight that's within a second at the end of the race, if you've picked up penalties, or you've just guaranteed yourself that you're going to lose that race. And there we go, Joe, I wasn't sure, just saying never. Of course, never having practiced in a desert race. In fact, on JPR, the league that happens over on a Friday night, that league can't broadcast on this channel because I attempt to drive in it. We actually had a race not so long ago in Qatar, where we had wet weather conditions, not only in the race, but in qualifying as well. So definitely some strange things happening in the Middle East. The gap continues to grow. I'm not quite sure. Does Big T have some sort of damage? For such a long time he was maintaining the pace and in fact going a little bit quicker than Weeze. We saw him get those fastest laps consecutively, but now just starting to slip backwards. 3.2 seconds. We now see him come into the pits. He's the first of the lead drivers and almost lost it on the entry. One of the circuits you really need to pay attention to, that pit entry. It can really jump out at you. Next thing you know, you get a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And that could effectively end all hope you have of finishing on the podium with a field that is this quick. Weeze leads the way. His main opponent has come into the pits. How much longer will these drivers stay out? Because it's lap 11 of 25. Depends on what their weather is saying. Of course, they would have been able to have a look at that weather while they were sitting on the pit, in their grid slots rather. They would have been able to look at that weather. They would have had at least an indication of, will there be rain at the start, at the end, in the middle, does it go away? It's not always extremely accurate, but it does give you somewhat of an indication. We have no indication. But judging by drivers coming in at this point and putting on a second set of inters, suggests to me that this rain isn't going anywhere anytime soon. .3 seconds at the front. Keeps on getting bigger. The gap keeps on getting bigger. Now we start to find a battle out on circuit. It's a battle for P3. Second RB going up against Itzfari. Itzfari trying to get himself up onto the podium. He's actually doing a fantastic job. Remember, he was down in P5 not so long ago. So coming through the field quite nicely. Fortunately for him, if he does manage to get himself all the way up into P2, he's going to find Weeze quite a distance down the road. Of course, those two drivers are P1 and 2 in the championship as things stand. Joe just mentioning, as the race goes on, start losing a little bit of focus, mistakes start to creep in, penalties start to show. Of course, I always say it's in the latter stages of the race, and it happens in races like this the most. You can find yourself in a bubble. When I say you find yourself in a bubble, I mean the driver ahead of you could be 5 or 6 seconds up the road. Same for the driver behind you. You can't see anyone up the road. You can't see anyone in your mirrors. All you can do is do your thing, go around the track as quick as you can, and hope for the misfortune of others up the road. And in that time, that's when your mind can just drift, and the silliest mistakes have happened. I've seen drivers well on their way to a podium crashing out in the last 3 laps of the race. I've even seen a leader of a race crash out on the final lap of a race. Speaking of crashes, what have I done? Never mention the crashes. Skulk picks up a drive-through penalty. I think that was for speeding under the safety car. If you speed in the pit lane, that's a 10-second penalty.
one dream to take the lead. On NFR swing, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high.
Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for that. You can blame Microsoft because I'm not quite sure what happened there. Microsoft just forced an update on me. Everything just shut down in front of me. So fantastic. At least it happened during a safety car, so I don't think we've missed too much. We do have one issue though. We seem to be missing the game sound. Let me know in the comment section if you guys can hear the sound from my side. It doesn't look like you can. Of course, remember, I can't hear the game. All I can see is the little visual indicator on the screen, and it appears like you guys can't hear it. Yeah, it does. Maybe it's the rain. The rain is interfering with the broadcast. Now we've got no sound. There are one or two things I could fiddle with to try and get the sound back. The only problem is if those go wrong, well, you might not have a stream to the end at all. So I don't want to fiddle with any settings right now. I can do that in testing on my own. Don't want to do it during a broadcast because you guys might miss the end of the race. I think the safety car came at a fantastic time for some of the drivers who were just stretching out their tires. Everybody came into the pits, got a fresh set of inters. That might be their one and only pit stop. And sound issues continue. I think getting distracted by all of this. Sorry about that. Safety car will be in this lap. You can see the safety car sign there on the left hand side just starts flashing. It's actually a glitch. Whenever the safety car is coming in, that thing starts to flash. It's not supposed to do that. Apologize to everybody who's going to have to listen to only the tone of my voice till the end of the race. I don't think there's going to be any racing sounds. And if you hear all sorts of background noises, blame my terrible mic. I promise you, I will get a mic one day. I've been saying that for a year. Logic, he leads at the restart. Of course, this will have cancelled out any work the drivers would have done in that first stint of the race, any gaps that would have opened up over time. Everything's been closed back up. Everybody's within a second of each other yet again. Just closes everything up one last time and gives us a second stint to the race. Maybe if a driver didn't have a fantastic start, spent too much time trying to come through the field, now all of a sudden he's going to have a chance to restart in a position that is much more favorable to him. Weeze is not going to take any time, goes straight back into the lead. in front of Logic. Two RBs, both on the podium. Both those RBs, no penalties next to their name. Logic, no penalties next to the name. So the top three drivers, no penalties. So those podiums are safe for now. If Big T wants to get a podium, he's got a bit of a job on his hands. He's in P4 right now, so you'd think it'll take one overtake. What are you talking about? Problem is he's got that 3-second penalty. The three cars ahead of him are incredibly fast, and they have no penalties. So he would have to pass them and then just put up a stunner of a race towards the end. Still lots of raindrops falling. I think this is going to be it till the end. I think we need to interrogate the host of this lobby. Make sure he didn't make some sort of an error. Of course, I mentioned the other night in JPR we had a rain-affected race in Qatar. That was as a result of the host. That was a predetermined weather conditions. We knew what it was going to be prior to the race. We had been told. But this is officially the first time I have seen rain at a desert circuit that hasn't been manipulated. Some were hoping for Monaco in the rain. Well, you got the desert in the rain. It's lap 18 of 25, so it's going to be another 7 laps of no engine sounds. Again, apologies. Need to try and figure that out. Sound simply didn't come back after the update. So that's going to be fun to sort out. Big T has actually gone to the front of the field. Logic in P2. There's two trading places. Look at the two RBs. They've actually traded positions. Wee's now the second RB. So I wonder if he had some sort of incident, some sort of collision, some sort of mistake. Just have a look at that RB. It does have its end plates. It appears to be all in order. But he is down to P4 and behind his teammate. Remember, that's the man in P2 in the championship. The man in P1 in the championship, he's one place behind him, down in P5. The guys up front, are they wildcards? Are they debutants? What do I call them? I suppose they're debutants for the season. They're definitely not rookies. Fantastic addition to the grid. If they decide to stay, if they decide to do more rounds with us, that would be fantastic. Every time you get a quick driver in the field, it just adds that overall quality to the field. And even the drivers towards the rear start to get inspired to go that little quicker. Ruan mentioning the driving of Logic not being very Ruan not appreciating the driving of Logic very much. Look at that, we've just got penalties all of a sudden. Big T's got a penalty, Logic's got a penalty. Let's just get confirmation of those penalties. They are indeed equal. Spikes picks up a 3-second penalty. So the penalties coming in thick and fast. I said in qualifying it was possible to cut corners at a street circuit, and there we go. Big T, Logic, your two leaders, both with penalties next to their name. Wee's in P3, theoretically the leader of the race, no penalties next to his name. The next RB, also no penalties next to his name. The RBs keep these cars in a straight line, pointing in the right direction. They're going to have a very, very strong result here tonight. Joe's saying fast and slow, everyone makes up the grid and we need them both. Of course we do. What I'm saying, or what I meant to say, is when the drivers ahead of you are a second ahead of you, you think, okay, the fast guys, they're a second ahead of me, it's not that bad. But when the fast guys are 3 seconds ahead of you, well, that's just going to encourage you to practice that much harder. And the entire field actually comes up in the timesheets. Big T, Wheeze, Logic, those are your top three, but those aren't going to be your top three when they go over the line unless they're able to open up some very big gaps. And as I'm talking about penalties, you're not going to get a more important one than that. Wheeze has also now picked up a penalty. So the top three all have 3 second penalties. Those will just neutralize themselves. And technically, as things stand, that second RB driver, who I've been trying to figure out the name of the entire race, well, if the checkered flag fell right now, he would win this race. And what a surprise it would be. He hasn't led at any stage of the race. No fighting in the comment section, guys. Nobody's trying to be a steward. Just pointing things out. It helps me as well as a commentator. Sometimes I'm not looking at the right thing. Guys in the comment section can sometimes just point something out that's happening on circuit that I haven't seen. But of course, there is no live stewarding of races in SAFRL or SKR. All stewarding decisions are taken after the race. We are under second safety car and lap 21 of 25. In fact, they go over the line as lap 22 of 25. So if I'm not mistaken, we could very well get going on lap 24. That'll give us a 2-lap shootout to the end. The entire field close together. Is anyone going to make pit stops at this stage? I don't think so. But what this has done is very much damage the races of everybody who has a penalty next to their name. Remember, when you have that penalty next to your name, the only thing you can do is try and neutralize the penalty by opening up that gap to your opponent. If you've got a 3-second penalty, you need to make sure your opponent is more than 3 seconds behind you. Very simple. If you get a safety car with only 2 laps till the end of the race, you're not able to open up those gaps and you might find yourself falling 5-6 positions down the field. And the final race results are not going to be very representative of what actually happened out on track. Welcome to, haven't seen Yaku up until now. I don't know if he's just joined us or if he was just awfully quiet. Welcome to Yaku in the comment section. That is the third DNF. So we've actually had both Ferraris retire from this event. I hope that's not foreshadowing of Ferrari's 2025 season. Let me know in the comment section while we're under a safety car, and I don't know what to say, and there's no game sound, so this is all fantastic. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think of the 2025 season? Of course, we haven't seen the cars, we haven't seen pre-season testing, we know nothing about the 2025 season, so everything is purely speculation. What do you make of the 2025 season? Will it be a Red Bull? Will it be a Ferrari? Will it be a Merc? Could even be a McLaren? And if so, who do you think that driver is going to be? Good to have you here, Yaku. Says you've been here for quite some time. Joe says I need to make the car sounds. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. No. I don't think so. It would either be entertaining or excruciating. I'm not going to take the risk. Yeah, there we go. That works. Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom indeed. Not going to get much more than that. Lap 23 of 25. My prediction was that we'd get going on lap 24 and have a 2-lap shootout. The field does look relatively close together, so the safety car might come in. Of course, the safety car stays out up until 3 laps if it's waiting for a queue to catch up. After that 3 laps, if you're still too far behind, it will leave you behind. Judging by that queue on the minimap, looks like everybody is together already. We're just entering sector 3, and there is the confirmation. Safety car will be in this lap. When they go over the line, it's going to be lap 24 of 25. We will indeed have a 2-lap shootout to the end. And if those drivers in P4, 5 and 6 are able to stay as close as they can to the leaders for just 2 laps, we could have a very interesting looking podium. A podium no one could have predicted just 5 laps ago. Still the raindrops fall. We asked many times during the race, would the rain get better? Would the rain ease off? Would it get worse? It hasn't done either. It stayed exactly the same. We've had one safety car and we've had a second safety car. And now we've just had our final restart, lap 24 of 25. Not a long way to go. Wheeze, Big T, Logic, that is your top 3, but all of them in the penalties column. Your next 3. I'm going to get that name right eventually. The RB driver. It's free. Sugar Bear's actually picked up a penalty himself. So your top 3 potentially could be RB, It's free, and Pantry Star. Anybody give me that name? Who is the second RB driver? How do I pronounce that? I promise you they're going to tell me what it is. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to be like, how? How did I not see that? It's free. So be a little bit annoyed. He was in P5 for a long time, started making his way through the field. He's now dipped down back into P5. His main championship contender in the lead of the race, but with a penalty. So this might not be as much of a brutal blow as it could have been. These will go down in the order. And I'm not quite sure if It's Free knows how close he is to a potential victory. He's down in P5. He's fighting for P4. Is he aware all 3 drivers in the top 3 have penalties? He thinks he's fighting for a P4. Would he be driving that much harder if he knew he was fighting for a P1? Of course, they can't fight too hard. They can't do anything silly. If there is a mistake, and that opens up the 3 seconds to the top 3, those top 3 will just effectively neutralize themselves. They will stay in their positions, and it won't be enough for the driver in P4 to catch up. Already getting close there. He's already lost a second. The driver in P4. 1 lap to go. Lap 25 of 25. Already in the second sector of that final lap. Not long to go. Skull in P6. Looking at a potential podium. I'm going to keep on saying potential until they go over the line, but the mathematics looks pretty simple unless something insane happens in Sector 3. But it looks like Wheeze, Big T and Logic, your top 3 in this race, not even one of them are going to stand on the podium this evening. I don't think that's ever happened on this channel. That's probably never happened in real F1 either. Top 3 drivers, none of them step foot on the podium. can see everybody's still so close together. The top three will lose the top three. There we go. They haven't lost the top three. In fact, Weeze has been able to hold on to, oh well, all sorts of penalties. Let's just wait for the official results. At least there's no game sound, and I don't need to worry about being copyright right here. I apologize if you can hear some of the drivers in the background. I'm trying to get that speaker as far away from me as possible. All sorts of strange audio issues here this evening. I'm hearing some of the drivers through my controller, and I'm not even sure how I'm doing that. So it seems to be raining even harder. So quickly, your final results. I'm going to call him, what do I call him? SPM. I'll call him SPM. The victory goes to SPM. Weeze P2, so it's an RB1-2, but I didn't expect it in that order. It's Farid P3, great performance from him. Then Big T P4, Logic P5, Skull. He finished off in P6, Andre P7. Those two ever so close. Pantry Star P8, Naked Champ P9, and then Top Gun picks up the final point this evening. On the other side of the top 10, you've got Sugar Bear P11, Skulk P12, Virus 13, Spikes 14. And then we've got, I believe, the three DNFs of Andres, Mink, and Notsumi was the first to go. A double Ferrari retirement. And that thumbnail is exactly how I feel. I feel like going to the lounge and putting my feet up. What a race that was. If you had asked me 2 hours ago what I thought the race would be, I don't think I could have predicted the track. I thought maybe Monaco, maybe Monza. Never settled on Jeddah. We got Jeddah, and no one could have ever predicted rain in Jeddah. So, fantastic race. Of course, we got a bit of a mix-up in the results because of the penalties there at the end. Gave us a really interesting result, and it could even shake up the championship a little bit. I want to thank everybody who joined the stream. Of course, we're about 15 of you here, and then the stream went down, and I see there's 14 of you here now. So thank you to everybody who stayed with the stream when it went down. I got it back up as quickly as I could, and we still got a bit of race time in. Apologies about the game sound. All you heard was my voice, and that couldn't have been too pleasant. So I want to thank everyone yet again for joining, everyone who watched. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you leave a like on the channel, and if it's your first visit, or if you haven't subscribed in the past, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. We're gonna just allow for 2 or 3 minutes for anybody who would like to join the Discord server. If you'd like to join the Discord server and have a word in the comment section, you can do that. And I'll be back with you in 2 or 3 minutes. If anybody joins, I'll be back with whoever joins. If not, I'll be back to say goodbye.
Flag is waving near, fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap, drawn falls, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave, legends are born on the stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night, adrenaline rush and flashing lights, tears and triumphs on the line, in the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knight. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like what. That's no lie, and when the race goes wrong, oh how that.
Welcome back, everybody. I think we do have somebody in the cool down room. Let's just have a look. Yes, we do. Cool down room. Nobody's been in there for quite some time. Shit's full of spider webs and all sorts of things. So we've got Skull. Did not finish in the top three, but he's with us in the cool down room. We're going to pull him into the comms box. Just let me have a look. We've had all sorts of audio issues, so before you say anything, let me just make sure this is working. It should be working. Skull, say something. Let me know if they can hear you. There we go. That's working. It's probably a little bit too loud, but that's better. Skull, tell me a little bit about your race. Were you expecting Saudi Arabia? Were you expecting rain?
Fernando, you're muted, by the way.
I am muted. Fantastic. I don't think I'm muted. It should be working. There we go. That's what
Much better.
happens. That's what happens when there's just there's too much tech and too much goes wrong. Okay, so let's try that again. Where was I?
Hello.
Were you expecting Jeddah? Were you expecting
No,
rain?
not at all. Definitely not around Jeddah. I was hoping Monaco, but kind of like Monaco, just not Monaco.
And obviously, how was your race? I mean, at one stage it looked like you might just steal a podium.
I nearly missed out on the podium. Less than a tenth by two drivers, I think Big T and someone else. Reese, I don't know who. So I would have been happier with a podium, but where I started to where I ended, it's not a bad race. Could have been better.
I think you can definitely, at least from Skull's point of view, you can be looking at the positives. You may have missed out on a podium, and you may have missed out on a podium on Sunday. But I think the point is you're getting awfully close to those podiums on a more consistent basis, and that's what you should be looking at.
Yeah,
So
I'm at least getting closer to Furi. Like each
when
race I'm close to him and then he just pulls away, but still, I was
where
there.
where else do you drive, Skull? When will you be back on track?
Sadly Sunday.
All the way on Sunday. So it's gonna
Yep, it's a
be
long wait.
it's gonna be a drought from F1. Same as me. So obviously nothing until Sunday. Of course, we might be filling that spot. Something on a Thursday. Skull, if you've got a device on in the background, can you just turn it down? I can hear myself.
I think it's an echo, but I have no device. So.
Not a problem. So I want to thank one more time everyone on the stream, everyone who joined. There was a lot of you here this evening. Got quite a few likes. I want to thank Skull for joining the comms box at the end there. Was it worth
No
it?
problem, Fernando.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was.
Did you think
Yeah, I did
about
enjoy it.
did you think about it in the beginning briefly? Oh, I'm not gonna do this. I've seen
I,
lobbies literally shrink when Monaco happens or when rain happens. So
I definitely did not think I was gonna end up in the points, to be honest. Like I'm good around Jeddah, but not never in the rain. So It was unexpected.
I don't think anyone has practiced around here or any desert circuit in the rain. So
Yeah.
still a good performance, and like I say, you might be disappointed you missed out on 2 podiums in a row, but I think you should be looking at, you got awfully close to 2 podiums in a row, and that sort of consistency bodes well going later on into the season. So Skull, I want to thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to let you go. Let me see,
No
where am
problem,
I? There we
Fernando.
go. Thank you, Skull, and hopefully we'll speak to you on the podium on Sunday.
We hope so.
Cheers.
Cheers, Fernando.
Cheers, cheers. And there we go, back to the stream. That was Skull live on NFR. Of course, very difficult race for everyone here tonight. Never knew what was going to happen. At first, you didn't know the venue, where we were going to be racing. You then found out the venue and had 5 minutes to mentally prepare yourself for that venue. Only for that venue to get rain at the one circuit that should never really have rain. So difficult evening. The guys couldn't have been practiced, but at the end, just the 3 retirements, just the 2 safety cars, it could have been so much worse. But we got a fantastic race and an interesting result because of the penalties and the safety car that mixed things up at the end. So one more time, I want to thank everybody who joined us, and I hope to see you all again on Sunday. That's going to be at 6 p.m. for SKR. And then, of course, SAFRL back next week. And remember, it's not a Monday night. It's on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m. So until next time, everyone, you can listen to a bit of music. And I'll speak to you next time. Cheers.
Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close. Who will win? In our heads, the engine's in. NFR, let's begin.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, Crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name, but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Turn on the screen, it's NFR. Feel the rush like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's a dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR. The rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend.